and welcome to another episode of Diaspora Talks. I am Tosinger, singer-songwriter, storyteller, and we're here at the space at Midtown, Atlanta. I have a special guest with me today. I'm going to let him introduce himself and tell us who he is. Welcome to Diaspora Talks, Bolu Michael. Who are you, Bolu Michael?
Yeah, good day. Thank you for having me. My name is Bolu Michael-Biyi. I'm a lawyer by profession. I'm based in Nairobi, Kenya, and I'm in the United States at the moment for a special program involving the U.S. Department of State. And yes, it's been an amazing time in the U.S. and it's good to be on the show. Thank you.
Welcome. Of course, the show is Diaspora Talks. Self-explanatory. Diaspora Talks is basically about life and living of Black diasporas in the diaspora. So definitely you put two and two together as to why we believe you should be on here with us today to talk to us. So this is your first time in the US of A. I know that you've come across diasporans from different walks of life. Tell us what your first impressions were, coming to America, knowing that everybody back home always dreams of coming to America. What was your first impression, and what would you say? What conclusions would you draw? Would you say it's worth it, or tell us what your thoughts are?
Okay, I've been to a couple of countries. Most of my travels has been in Europe, and yes, it's my first time in the United States. Yes, in the past few weeks, I've been to Texas, Washington, D.C., New York, and now I'm in Atlanta, Georgia. Well, my first impression, I was like, okay, this is the United States everybody's talking about. What I observe is a melting pot of different cultures, melting pot of different traditions. I saw the Hispanics, I saw the Black African Americans, saw Europeans, everybody mingling together and doing their things. So I was keen about knowing more about the American culture, and when it comes to the effort people make to actually make it to the US, I feel different strokes for different folks. But for me, I believe that if one can get their acts together, they can do much more back home.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So would you say people should come back home? People who have lived here and experienced living here in the US, would you advise them to come back home and invest in their countries? Because usually the reason why people leave is for economic reasons, and they come here, they work hard, and they get returns for their labor. Okay. So will that happen if they come back home?
I think a sharp contrast between being the US or Europe and Africa is that for foreigners, there's this kind of social support, which one may not really get as much within the US context. Social support is very important. That's why persons, when they meet and go to another country, they try to find their community. We find stuff like Chinatown.
Yes.
Even within African countries, the Hausas, for instance, in Nigeria, the Hausas, they have Sabo. Hausas are Nigerians,
yes.
Yorubas are Nigerians, Igbos are Nigerians, but almost in every state of Nigeria, you find that Sabo community where you find the Hausas. That's within a country, among their own people.
Yes.
How much more in a foreign land? So social support is important, and it's I feel in the foreign land, it's much more difficult to find that social support, and compared to when one is back home.
Yeah. So I wouldn't think someone would want to go back based on that reason alone for social support, because like you said, wherever we find ourselves, we still see each other and form a community.
Yes.
So I think personally, my thoughts are it's more of economic and financial reasons.
Yes,
the standard of
agree.
living.
I agree.
Standard of living.
Yes. I agree with that. The standard of living, economic reason. Will one now close shop and start chasing thieves when? Then what happens to the goods at home? You'll be locked in the shop. That's one thing Peter Obi said sometimes. It's the same scenario. If we can just put our acts together, and Africans are very innovative people.
Yes, we are.
We collaborate among ourselves. We can make things happen back home. I feel what has attracted people to foreign countries is the infrastructure.
Yes.
The basic infrastructure.
And the maintenance of it.
The maintenance of it as well.
Yes.
If we can get that in Africa,
In
our
Africa.
respective countries, I can tell you for free that, where people, a large number of people would not want to leave their country. If there's water, if there's electricity, if the opportunities back home, people will stay back.
Okay.
Nobody will just pack back and leave family and.
Okay. Would you relocate here?
I think. I prefer to visit the US. Visit the US, do things, make things happen, and go back home.
Okay.
Home is where the heart is.
Home is where, just like I sang in my song, Ile, home is where the heart is. So you find that diasporans who experience living here, when they get to like that older age, they now tend to like go back home, but most of them have lost their connections. But thank God for social media. Now we can keep in touch with people that we know from back home. So when you go back, you still have that social support. But like most people kind of like wait till their old age and they're brought up their kids and then they go back home. But we find that younger people are also going back home and doing things and investing.
Yeah.
Well, okay, that's a good perspective. Thanks for sharing that with us.
Yeah.
And you would have observed, because like I was saying in the earlier episodes of Diaspora Talks, that when I first moved to America, I thought America was one big blob, not knowing that they're actually different states.
Yeah.
And even the culture and the environment of each state differs from one another.
Yeah.
So you experienced visiting different states. Which states did you visit? Do you mind sharing?
Texas, I was in Washington, D.C.
Washington, D.C. Washington, D.C. is a melting pot.
Yes, it is. It is. New York as well.
New York. There's a lot of... New York is like the headquarters of diasporans.
Yes.
Immigrants.
So many people.
Okay. And you can tell the difference in the way the people relate, the foods, even state
tell.
to state,
Even
like
state
accents,
to state. Exactly.
everything is different.
Everything is
so now you're going to tell everybody when you go back home that when you go to America is not just one place you can get up and go to another state in a couple of minutes.
You have to drive or fly.
Or fly hours.
It's such a big country.
Yes.
And one thing that is very important, to keep people back home is the political stability.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
No matter how fancy a country is, if the politics in that country is not stable, to force people to leave. Political stability, economy, opportunities. Those are factors that make people want to leave.
And you're a potential political leader yourself. Right?
Oh well, I'm flattered.
Yeah. You're a youth leader. You work with the African Union.
Yes.
You have your own organization, ROI Africa, doing great things with mental health and
education
in different African countries. So keep that up.
Thank you.
And we hope to hear more of you, of what you're doing in the future.
Yeah.
And maybe you'll be an ambassador sometime, representing the countries, and So we're glad to have you. So we are you're a honorary diasporan right now, since you are just visiting back and forth. So you're a honorary. I heard you were given like the key to the city, a certificate.
Yes, honorary
in Lubbock, Texas.
Of the city of Lubbock, Texas.
Wow, you see now. You see, there we go. Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia should do better, right? Yeah, I'm gonna put it in right there to also say Bolu Mike is actually my biological brother, so I'm so proud of him. I need to give that shout out right there.
Thank you.
But thanks for joining us on Diaspora Talks.
Yeah, thank you.
And we hope to see you in the USA again.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Very soon.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. Make sure you like, subscribe. If you have a comment or a question, drop it below in the comments. Follow us on Instagram page Terracotta ATL. And Bolu Michael, where can we connect with you if you want to keep in touch with you?
Facebook, I'm Bolu H. Michael-Biyi.
Bolu H. Michael-Biyi on Facebook.
And on Instagram, I'm Bolu Michael-Biyi.
Bolu Michael-Biyi on
every other
Instagram.
social media platform, Twitter. I'm Bolu Michael.
Okay, and ROI Africa on Facebook.
On Facebook as well.
On Facebook. All right. Thank you guys for joining us, and stay tuned for another episode in the future of Diaspora Talks. Thanks for joining us.